So yes, credit due where it's due. Brixton now, lost, don't know what I'm doing, and there I am standing in front of Raymond Judah shop, Atlantic Road. You know, it's the first time I'm seeing Rasta in my face. You know, like in the window, pictures of Haile Selassie. Because in Denmark, you go to the library, can't even find a book on Bob. You have to search to find it. You know, His Majesty, history books, red, gold, and green everywhere, and it was just like a revelation to I. And I was like, you know what, cool. So there I am standing, and I went into the shop, and I asked about is there a place where people play reggae music, and everybody just look at me strange. What's up with this youth? It looks strange, man. You know, because first of all, my hair was cut short, and I had it on a denim jacket, and the denim I had on that jacket I had Ziggy Marley's autograph on, but that's a different story again. You understand? So you get the mystics. That happened. I got the autograph in Denmark, but I'll tell you that story elsewhere. So you know that Jah ordained this move. So I'm walking around with Ziggy's signature on a Ziggy Ziggy bridge. Ziggy Ziggy bridge. They're coming on a narrow bridge. They're coming on a Ziggy Ziggy bridge. Lord, I gotta keep on moving. That's me now. And the people just looking at me like Raymond Judah and his people. I'm trying to work out. They said, this youth is confusing. Like, what's up? You know, he made a shot. Like, I look like Roachford. And it's red, gold, and green. It was just, you know, and the accent and everything, the guitar. So they just didn't want to get into it. They said, nah, no. So I just felt like, okay. And I was free, you know. So I just had to kind of like go out. As I was coming out, there's a Rasta man looking in the window, and I talked to him. And he listened to me. And I said, well, come, my youth. You know, you can live with that and you know. And he took me over to Somerleyton Road. And off of Somerleyton Road was Clarewood Walk. And up there was a flat. He had a squat with his brethren, Lyndon, and they were from Guyana. So he just recently come from Guyana, and he loved music. So he see the guitar, and he used to play flute. His name was Terry McCalman. You know, the funny thing is that McCalman now, Macamon and McCalman and those people are Eddie Grant family, Guyana. You know, so I never know that. I never know the mystics. But this time I'm in Brixton. It's the first time I see Electric Avenue and all these things is happening, and I don't know all that. It's just pure prophecy of fulfilled. You know. So how do I find out that it's family? Because I come back to Denmark like all 20 years later, and I come into this room and I see this old black man there, and it turned out him out Eddie Grant uncle, and he have the name Macamon, but they say that McCalman is also their family. You know. So just to let you know the mystics. So anyway, so they took good care of me, and I start to move around, busking and making money and everything. So I just know that now I must find 12 tribe. You know. So I want to get quicker to the point of a hustle than my history. You see, so two tools I get to know 12 tribes. So from 12 tribe, when I left England and went to Denmark for a while, and many years later I come back. So 12 tribe is where I connect, you know. So that was that connection. So when I reached 12 tribe, I come with a testimony in front of everybody, and everybody just hear the testimony. They hear me out, and they just love me, and they check for me. And I start talk with one brethren called Larry Zeb. You know, and Larry Zeb, he said to me, you know what? I know the right person for you to talk to. You know, he's a brother. Him live up Harlesden way. And he's always promoting youths like you, and he know much, you have good connection and whatever. You know, so. And it turns out that the brother that he was talking about was Delroy Washington. And so he called up Delroy and said, Delroy is Larry Zeb. I'm here with the youth. You come from Amsterdam. With some people, they're not from Denmark. Everybody say Amsterdam. But maybe it's a good thing to say Amsterdam, because Delroy did some shows in Amsterdam way back when he was touring with Aswad. So it's got like Amsterdam. So his mood kind of like, okay, so he wants to know, you know. So anyway, I said, nah, man, make him come true. So I spoke to Delroy on the phone and he gave me the directions, you know. This house, which was in Craven Park Road. At that time, I was living in a hostel up in Dulles Hill, you know. So it wasn't too far down the road. And I went by Delroy House, and it must have been 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And for the next 7 hours, Delroy just broke down everything from the business to the time of the whalers, the history of the whalers, Rastafari, everything. It was just like one intense session, you know, talking about Jetstar, Mr. Palmer down the road, and you know, it was one big download. And I realized that, boy, Rastafari, you know, wow, you know. So from that time, Delroy gave me some advice of what to do, and I've stuck to that advice. So I never really went looking for no record deal or starting a band. Delroy told me one thing. He says the biggest thing is a catalog. Build a catalog. Then he showed me a video of the artists in reggae music who were the smartest businessmen. Guess who came on top? Eddie Grant. Of all the businessmen in the reggae business, Eddie Grant was the smartest, and he had bought back his entire catalog. And he owned all his tapes. And he said to me, the rest of it, my youth, it don't matter. Record, 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 and make a catalog. And so I set about to do that. So I'd be busking, going to studio, busking, going to studio. If I record something and go over, take it over to Delroy, make Delroy listen it and say, so cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And say, oh, okay. So, you know, it was like a guidance. I could go record and take it to Delroy, and Delroy tell me what he think and this and that, you know what I'm saying? So it was really cool. So I don't want to lose track. I want to stay on track because, you know what, it's not about my story. It's about our hustle, right? We're going to be hustling. So now I'm pulling you closer to the hustle, which is my catalog. Jamaica, I have something for all of you. My catalog of music. Boom. Publishing. We are going into the publishing. We are going into collective intellectual property rights. And you Jamaicans are the owners of reggae music. You need to stand collectively for the intellectual property rights of reggae. You can't be fighting that battle each on their own. Who's fighting reggaeton on their own? Why is Max Romeo on his own? Why was Rita Marley on her own? You know, when we are, listen, Babsy done the biggest move if you only knew. If you only knew. So, the next person who came, because there was always a Bob Marley connection with me, there was always somebody from Bob's camp who I buck up on in the least expected way. I don't have time to tell all of them, but I gotta tell you this one here. So, Tutus, I've recorded X amount of songs, and I'm building my catalog, and I'm making sure that I stay in touch with the community in England. And that would be the radio now. Galaxy, Genesis, Blues FM, Pirate Radio. I listen to them all every time. Make sure I listen to it. So coming from Malawi and living with Malawians, I was the only one who did that, because people coming from Malawi are coming from a colonial mindset, come to England and work a little, study a little, and you know. But this blending with the Caribbeans, it didn't really happen. There was always some kind of conflict, a split between the Caribbeans and the Africans. But with me, I just get immersed right into the heart of it. Caribbean, black, everything, every issue. Youths being excluded at school, every little piece of racism, everything we talk on radio. I mean, know about it. I know all the organizations, AAPR, PLK, Bolan, 12 Tribes. You know, I just know, and I make sure I know. make sure I go to meetings, you know. And so I'm listening to the radio one time, and I'm listening to this woman. She's speaking, and she's telling me about how she get a vision to go seek out His Majesty's secret servants in Jamaica. She says she know about the secret servants, and she go on this mission where she's supposed to make His Majesty's Empress visible. So she get His Majesty in a vision, and the Majesty said, "Go to Jamaica, my secret servants, you know, and make my Empress visible." You know, so that's a directive. You understand? So that's another thing that Delroy told me. So, you know, what Rastafari is. He's asking me, and I look at him and I think, and I say, it's a direction. He says, "Wow, you almost get it, youth. You almost get it. Direction, almost. Now, it's a directive." And I said, okay. Because you could pick your direction, right? But a directive is a direction given you by His Majesty. So she get a directive, and she's moving on that directive. And I just listen to this woman, and she's talking about, she's there at yard and trying to get through, and you know, the same old class thing, looking down on Rasta and everything. And then she realized that, well, the only time she can break through if she starts speaking speaky, spooky, high class English. Then the people start turning around and say, "Blah, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you?" Blah, 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 blah. Because of the English accent, they realize that, okay, she's an English lady, you know, but she's Jamaican still. So I'm listening to this woman, and then she has an event, and I thought, I'm gonna check out this woman, check out this event, you know. So I made a point to go to this event, and it was Irie, man. Great. And Son of Man was there, you probably would know, and took part in it. And the connection just come like Irie in that way. And you know, next thing I know, I was at her office and we're talking, and it turns out it's Yvonne Griffiths Gale. It turns out that she was responsible for directing the publishing for Tough Gong. Apart from other things what she did in the industry, and she'd worked with Richard Branson, you know. And I was like, okay. So both she and Delroy had been at Virgin before, you know. And she and Bob Marley headhunted her from Virgin and brought her to Tough Gong. So between Delroy and Haile Selassie, I got the teachings of what to do. So by the time I was solidly planted in the directive of His Majesty, when I saw the news about what Babsy Grange had done, I was like, Rastafari. And then I saw the reaction from most people, and I realized, oh boy, it's a good thing I'm stubborn, man. It's a good thing I'm stubborn and I don't follow no people, because I would have been dunce just like the rest of them. Sorry I'm calling you that, but it's the truth, you know. What are you gonna do if I call you a dunce? You have one choice, you know, you have a choice. Either get vexed and do something to me, or go find a blood clot book, sit down and read and put something in your head. But don't try to do me nothing, because, you know, I'm moving on a directive. Get slapped up by some angel. Rastafari. Where we are, nobody can reach. His Majesty live.